The Hall of International Generals in Beijing was filled with polished medals and cold stares when General Yang stepped forward. With a smirk, he pointed at a screen showing Filipino soldiers in jungle fatigues. "Filipino soldiers? Too small for modern warfare," he said, laughing loudly as the room murmured. He waved his hand as if brushing away something insignificant. "Send your best unit. Let us see if size really does not matter." Across the hall, the Filipino delegation sat silent but steady. Colonel Mateo Sison, calm as still water, simply stared back at Liang. His jaw tightened, but his voice was controlled. "We accept," he said. "But when this is over, General, I hope your words are as strong as your pride." The challenge was sealed. The world was watching. Back in Manila, the armed forces gathered inside a secure facility. The air was tense as commanders reviewed maps, intel, and reports. They knew China expected a show of brute strength. Instead, they would send Team Dagit, the country's elite force known for stealth, precision, and unmatched endurance in harsh environments. Their leader, Captain Ruel Tan, stepped forward when his name was called. "We will win," he said simply, "not because we are bigger, but because we know how to fight smart." The room erupted in firm nods. The mission was not just military, it was a matter of dignity. Team Dagit trained in the mountains of Benguet, moving through fog, rain, and steep cliffs. Their drills were merciless. Night raids, silent infiltration, survival tests. Captain Ruel pushed them harder, knowing every mistake could be used against their homeland. At night, by the small campfire, the team spoke little. There were no jokes, no distractions, only focus. "We are not here to prove our height. We are here to prove our heart," Sergeant Lisa Reyes whispered. Everyone agreed. The challenge was no longer about China. It was about every Filipino who had been underestimated. When Team Dagit landed in Beijing for the joint exercise, cameras swarmed them like bees. Reporters shouted questions. "Are Filipinos afraid? Do you think you can win?" Captain Ruel answered only one line: "Watch us." General Yang greeted them with a grin. "So these are the famous Filipino warriors," he said. "They look like students, not soldiers." But the Filipinos kept walking. They refused to give his words power. They were here to fight with skill, not ego. In a sealed room, military judges explained the exercise, a simulated battlefield in the mountains outside Beijing. The goal: capture a hidden beacon guarded by China's best unit, the Iron Wolves. Drones, sensors, and full surveillance would track all movements. "Fair enough," Captain Ruel said. His eyes scanned the digital map. Valleys, cliffs, frozen streams. "They expect us to confront them head-on," he whispered to his team. "So we will not." The team understood immediately. Strategy would be their biggest weapon. Before dawn, Team Dagit entered the snowy terrain. The cold stabbed like needles, but the Filipinos moved fast and low, using the shadows of rocks and trees. They studied the wind, the slope, the enemy patrol routes. Every step was a calculation. Meanwhile, the Iron Wolves marched loudly, confident and heavy-footed with their thick armor. "Find the Filipinos," their commander ordered. "Should be easy." But by noon, they found nothing but silent footprints that disappeared into cliffs. Team Dagit was invisible. By late afternoon, the Iron Wolves were exhausted. The cold made their breaths heavy. That was when Team Dagit attacked, not with guns, but with tactics. They triggered a controlled rock slide, blocking the main pass. Then they lured the guards with decoys made of heat pads and cloth. As the Iron Wolves ran toward the fake signals, Team Dagit slipped behind them, climbing a vertical ridge without ropes. Above, the beacon pulsed like a lone star. "Move," Captain Ruel whispered. In 5 minutes, the Filipinos reached it. In 6 minutes, they secured it. General Yang watched the monitors in disbelief. Impossible, he muttered, as he saw his elite unit chasing shadows while the Filipinos captured the target. He slammed his fist on the table. How did they get past our defenses? An American general beside him chuckled. You underestimated them. That is your first mistake. Liang said nothing. The room filled with murmurs, admiration for the Filipinos, confusion for the Chinese, and respect growing where doubt once stood. The Team Dagit marched back to the command center, tired but unbroken. Snow clung to their uniforms, and scratches marked their arms, but their steps were steady. Captain Ruel placed the beacon on the table without a word. His silence was louder than any speech. General Yang forced a smile that trembled. You were lucky, he said weakly. Captain Ruel looked straight at him. No, he replied. We were ready. The room was silent. Everyone knew the truth. Skill had beaten size. A press conference followed. Cameras flashed, microphones rose, reporters leaned in. Captain Ruel stood tall despite his modest height. Filipinos are not defined by size. We are defined by courage, discipline, and heart weighs more than height,